Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Cancer May 2019 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing up is, as far as May goes, Venus will be in Taurus from the 15th until the 31st. So the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. One may value loyalty, steadfastness, trustworthiness in their friendships, even with acquaintances. They may know people that they know in groups, clubs, or organizations. This could also be about enjoying persistence and impatience in 11th house matters and valuing that as well, such as aspirations and goals. And also, if you're unattached at this time, Cancer, you may connect with a Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or one that embodies those characteristics perhaps in some kind of group or organization or club, or somebody that can also help you perhaps in terms of your future as well. Could also be about much pondering energy, much ponderous energy before spending, premeditation, and very conservative spending on the future. Perhaps you may enjoy Taurus activities with friends. It could be just playing a game of Monopoly or some board game that's associated with money or finances or stocks or something, or it could be doing gardening, cultivating, things that are connected with endurance, such as long distance running. It could be like doing some kind of building, whether it's, like a model plate or putting something. It could just be doing something, anything that could be Taurus related. So it could be constructing something, perhaps. Anyway, next thing up, as far as May goes, Mars will be in Gemini from the 1st until the 16th. So the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, in some isolated cases, this could be becoming angry at a Gemini-like mental illness, such as something like bipolar. If you do have it, in the isolated cases that one may have this, like I said, this is very isolated. But another thing too is it could be a time too where perhaps a Gemini sexual partner, it could be somebody that is a Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or one that embodies those traits, may drive you figuratively crazy at this time. Could also be about manifest and enjoying manifold things in solitude and seclusion. It could be about having verbal battles, maybe, or really harsh, angry witticisms. Could be oneself undoing, and this could also be about having more diminished vitality and energy at this time than usual. Could also be where at this time as well, given it's Mars and Gemini energy, you're talking about the 12th house. This could be about scattering energy into doing too many things, and one could dissipate the self through lack of an integrating purpose. And this could all be tied in to diminished vitality at this time. So just be careful at this time, Cancer. And the thing too is, the next thing I want to get at, as far as May goes, Mars will be in Cancer from the 16th until the 31st. So the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, you might become, it could be becoming angry over a temperamental, moody, clingy, oversensitive. It could be a grandmother. It could be someone you knew from your early childhood. Could also be a time where you have a lot of more abundance and surfeit of energy at this time, Cancer, more so than usual. And you could be injecting this into Cancerian new beginnings, such as something connected with cooking or doing some kind of laundry work, employment. It could be doing something, working in fast food or restaurant work or some kind of home renovation or remodeling, anything that could be Cancerian. And you might at this time You might, if you're unattached this time, Cancer, you might start some kind of maybe a sexual liaison with a Cancer sun, moon, or ascendant, or one that embodies Cancerian characteristics. It could be a person that could be instrumental in new beginnings, or somebody that you knew from your early childhood. It could be a childhood sweetheart. This could also be about manifesting, taking action in Cancerian things that are associated. Really at this time, that are just Cancerian things in general that you might be taking action on. It could be home related matters, family related matters, things that are more introverted in your home. And also could be issues with the physical body. If there's something going on in terms of your stomach or chest area, this could be a time where you might initiate and take action at this time. And also, anger could possibly, I believe, might be attributed to some kind of stomach issues. We're talking about the physical body, the first house, especially if this is actually hitting the first house on one's natal chart. This is something just to be careful of, and it could be more acerbic battles at times in like fast food places, restaurants. I have a prominent family member that has Mars in Cancer in her first house in her natal chart. It conjuncts her ascendant. She was notorious for getting into battles with people in fast food places. So it's just something to look at and be careful of this time, Cancer. So anyway. Well, next thing up, Jupiter will be in Sagittarius still, so the 6th house is what we emphasized and highlighted at this time. As I've talked about in previous videos, Jupiter, though very strongly benign and benevolent, could also have a tendency to enlarge and expand. It could be very paradoxical. In some cases, this could expand Sagittarius, like health issues. It could be something with the thigh, liver, or perhaps something with the sciatic area, sciatic nerve at this time. And especially if it's at a time when it's making an inconjunct to the ascendant in one's chart. Now, on a positive note, though, this could be very fortuitous or experiencing positivity, jocularity in the daily routine, and also could be very beneficial for sports, athletics, the outdoors, in terms of promoting one's health at this time as well. And also, too, it could also manifest in a lot of hope and optimism through the outdoors, through sports, through the religion, in daily routine. Excuse me, and also perhaps positive for philanthropic service that might be provided. In some cases, it could be a religious service if you're somebody that is religious, or you're prominent in some religious congregation at this time. So anyway. Well, the next thing up is Saturn will be in Capricorn still, so the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, Cancer, you might be continuing experiencing restrictions and limitations in relationships and partnership situations. Could be in legalities and court-related matters, and also too, this could be about some cases taking care of a sickly or debilitated. It could be a grandmother, it could be someone, a significant other, somebody maybe you're close with in a partnership situation, like a business partnership. Could be something connected with the knees, the bones, or the joints, and might be making you feel somewhat despondent and melancholy at this time. And also, it could be about legal responsibilities needing serious attention. Perhaps it could be about a structured settlement. In some cases, I'm joking, though, of course, being flippant. Now, if you're unattached at this time, Cancer, it could also manifest perhaps in connecting perhaps with an older Capricorn person. It could be a Capricorn sun, moon, or ascendant, or simply one that embodies Capricorn characteristics. And it could be a time too where in some cases it could be an older person, or the father in some cases. Could be an open adversary at this time as well. And anyway, and it could also be about serious negotiations and ones that are very consistent at this time. So anyway, next thing up, well, Uranus will still be in Taurus, so the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, one way this may manifest, this could be about Taurus friendships, figuring prominently in your goals, your aspirations, your future at this time. They could be Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Taurus traits. Might be experiencing some unusual, obstinate, stubborn behavior from friends, from acquaintances, from people that are in some kind of group, club, or organization you may be with, or maybe people through social media, social networking. Hold on a moment, people. But anyway, in some cases too, this could be about Uranus-like goals and aspirations you follow. You do with a lot of persistence at this time. They could be something with astronomy, aerospace, computers, electronics, innovation, humanitarian endeavors, anything that could, or astrology, anything that could be Uranus related. Sometimes this could manifest in financial fluctuations impacting one's future as well, and could also be about shocking behavior from 11th house people. And maybe your friendships might be more erratic and sporadic than usual. And on another positive end, though, it could be also about formulating original financial ideas, perhaps in group involvement at this time as well. So anyway, well, next thing up is Neptune will be in Pisces still, so the 9th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now at this time, well, Neptune could be about dissolving and dissipating energy. It could be about dissipation or dissolving. This time maybe a connection with an in-law, a grandchild, someone you know at a college, university, or religious congregation. This time, and even an in-law grandchild might in some isolated cases might be involved in some kind of drug or alcohol use. Could also be about, if you're in college at this time, you could be taking a course in something Neptune related, such as something with chemistry, the metaphysical, which includes astrology, doing something with pharmaceutical studies, special effects, dancing, poetry, photography, any anesthesiology, anything that could be Neptune related. You might, if you're a traveler, you might be more inclined to taking long distance journeys by boat and sea. But the thing about it is Neptune energy can often be about fantasizing and dreaming as opposed to doing. You might find yourself more inclined to kind of dreaming, daydreaming, and about 9th house matters as opposed to doing it. A lot of this could be predicated and dependent on aspects as makes the points in your chart. If it's making an adverse aspect to your natal ascendant, sun, or Mars, this could increase that propensity for that lethargy and not really maybe taking action in those particular things. And also you might be more susceptible to some kind of false indoctrination at this time, more so than usual. And in 9th house, people might be more deceptive and duplicitous than usual, such as in-laws, grandchildren, foreigners, people you may meet overseas. It could be someone at a religious congregation or university, or someone you might know in some publishing capacity, or somebody that's involved with traveling, long distance traveling somehow, such as a travel agent. So anyway, last but not least, Pluto will still be in Capricorn, so the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now at this time, I know a lot of you don't want me to say the dreaded D word, but you know I'm going to anyway. In some cases, this could be about the actual or literal death of a grandmother, or it could be somebody that you're in could be a significant other, marriage partner at this time. It could also be about the obliteration of legal issues on a positive end, and also too it could be about getting power in more control with negotiations at this time. But you also may be involved in very strong situations, this could be about powerful open adversaries, legal opponents at this time. And you might find yourself too, this could be about transformation in relationships. And I mean, Pluto energy could be about obliteration, about ending something, but at the same time it could always be supplanted later on. A lot of times Pluto, I think, will tear down things, but it could also be about supplanting something later on. I mean, Pluto also is about rebirth and regeneration. It could be about the revival of connections that may have been lost at one time that you had, or maybe bringing back negotiations. Maybe if they had stalled for a little bit, because again, Pluto could be about rebirth and regeneration. Now, it may also manifest in getting involved in some kind of Pluto partnership situation, such as something with insurance, astrology, something with the supernatural, the occult, some recycling, anything that could be Pluto related, a death profession, such as something like if it's funeral directors or anything that could be associated with the subject of death. And also too, it could be a time where you might attract very people in relationships that they're very domineering, controlling, even manipulative at this time. And it could also be about, if you're in business, politics, very intense business or political competitions might be taking place at this time. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Cancer May 2019 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. Stay tuned next time, where I'm going to be giving you my take on the April 19th, 2019 full moon in Libra transit. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person astrologically speaking based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.